Okay, on the table here I've got a new customer's engine, a new customer to me, first engine of 3. Jared, this is your Magnum XL91RFS engine, and I'm doing my initial inspection of it. Overall, this engine looks like it's in really good shape externally. High-speed needle operates, carb is not frozen. As you said, you were unable to get it to fire up. It does feel like it's got rather light compression now. I've got my 91 XL RFS here, and it's got quite a bit better compression. Now you can tell yours is a newer version because it has this tubing here and mine does not. So mine's an older version, but this compression does feel rather light. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my finger over the exhaust stub here, and ooh, we got quite a bit more compression here just by putting my finger over the exhaust. So initially that kind of leads me to believe that we might have an exhaust valve issue. So I am just going to begin the disassembly here and see if we've got a valve that's sticking or maybe isn't closing all the way. Maybe the valve lash is off. Maybe that's all it is. Hard to say. We'll see. Well, here's our issue. Look at that. Exhaust valve is stuck down. And it's not moving at all. It's black. I don't know if you can see that or not. Clearly see the intake valve is moving, but our exhaust valve is not moving. So that would be the reason why you were unable to run this engine. I'll zoom in even more here and see. I'm having a hard time seeing. There we go. Maybe now you can see. So let me flip it over this way. You can see the intake valve moving. And no movement there whatsoever on that. So there's our reason for the engine not operating and having no compression. So I think as long as I'm doing this, I'm just going to start taking this thing apart. And I'm going to start with this right here. I want to relieve whatever pressure might be. Might be there on that valve spring. Maybe there's no pressure on it at all. Maybe it's just stuck. Let's see here. So both of these are functioning fine. But this valve is just stuck down. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to go shoot some oil on it and heat that up and see if that pops back up just from doing that. I'll put some oil in here and oil here, and I'll heat that up and see if that valve spring pops up. Okay, so I've put some 3-in-1 oil on this valve, this exhaust valve and valve spring, and heated it up quite a bit. And I've heard, you can see oil dripping off it here. I heard it cracking and popping, but that valve did not pop up yet. So I'm just going to continue to disassembly and get this engine disassembled, and we'll have to pull those valves out and see what's going on there. Make sure that we don't have a fully compressed or a completely compressed valve spring, and that valve spring hopefully will be salvageable. Okay, our head's off, and it looks like a fairly low runtime engine here. I mean, there's not a whole lot of carbon buildup on the top of this piston at all. This looks like it's in pretty good shape. Are there gaskets in here? Yes, there are. They still feel pliable. That's the thing with this type of an engine. I'm not certain how much part support there is for this as far as these kinds of things. Alright, so a couple of these screws came out. Let's check this exhaust valve now.
So you can see here, exhaust valve is
stuck down. I'm just gonna push up on it. Boy, I don't know why that's... It's really, really tight. Wow. Well, obviously that's going to have to be completely disassembled. Not sure why that's so tight right now, but we'll just have to pop this head, pop these valves out and see. I'm just going to continue on with some of the disassembly here. Put that head over there. I'm almost wondering if I should just put this in the ultrasonic. I mean, it doesn't look like it's got that much runtime on it, so I don't understand why we'd have such an issue with this head like that. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go turn my ultrasonic on and put this head assembly in the ultrasonic just as it is and see if that will do anything with that
exhaust valve.
Okay, I've got the screws removed from the rear cover and
The cam timing cover, I wanted to show you the inside of this. This looks pretty gnarly in here. There's what
that bearing looks like. Not very nice. At least the cam cover came off fine. I need to get this tap out of the way. So I mean, overall this engine's in really, really good condition. The tappet's out. This one fell through. I mean, so nothing is really stuck there. This is really not a bad condition.
here's inside the rear
Rear cover. You can hear my ultrasonic going. So now I'm just gonna get this sleeve up and out of here. Probably have to heat it up and stick a popsicle stick up there and get that out. And then we'll go ahead and get this drive hub off here and pull the bearings. Actually, I'm going to be pulling the bearings on video, Boca bearing video, so that's going to be that's going to be a few days before I get to that. But that's basically all there is to this. This doesn't look like it's going to be all that difficult to disassemble, so I'm going to go ahead, I'll get this sleeve out and see if I can get this crankshaft off without having to extract the wrist pin, but we'll have to see about that. Okay, so I got your engine, probably, I don't know, 95% disassembled. I got the sleeve and piston out, connecting rod. Where's the connecting rod? All of this stuff looks like it's in really good shape. I mean, this looks like a fairly low time engine. In fact, this connecting rod and the wrist pin extraction gave me zero issues whatsoever. I mean, none. I didn't even have to heat this thing up any more than what I was already heating up just to get the head off. And I just put this little servo screw in there and its pin just pulled right out. So I mean, no drama whatsoever. This ring looks good, the piston looks good. I mean, all in all, this looks like a really fantastic condition engine, with the exception of this exhaust valve that's still, even after being through the ultrasonic cleaner, it's still stuck down. So I'm going to use that new spring compression tool that Bill gave me and remove those valves and see what's going on with that valve. Maybe that valve is bent. I don't know if this had some kind of an event that happened or what, but typically if it was just a stuck, I mean, because there's not even, it doesn't even look like there's a whole lot of carbon buildup on this exhaust valve. So it's almost looking like maybe the valve is bent. I don't know. That's all I can surmise from this point until I get it out and see what's going on with it. But I don't understand why it wouldn't just be snapping back into place. And it's not a matter of the spring being fully compressed. This thing is just really, really stuck. So we're going to have to do a little bit of work on that. But that's as far as I'm going to go with this disassembly video. Like I said, removing the bearings and replacing them is going to be something that I do on a Boca bearing video, because it'll give me a chance to use that cam bearing removal tool in action once again too. So that's your disassembly and diagnosis video for your engine there, Jared.
Okay, so I have your valves out. I removed the springs, valve retainers, and all that good stuff. And even then, the exhaust valve was still kind of stuck, but it's free now and it's not bent. So, I mean, I'm not sure why it was so stuck. There was no carbon on it. I've cleaned them up a little bit, but there was no carbon buildup on it. Both valves operate fine. So this engine is in fine working condition.
The spring didn't look like it was permanently set or anything. I'm just not sure why it was stuck like that. But I'm thinking that
That's the only reason for the loss of compression, obviously, is because it was just stuck. But I don't see any issues with this now. Everything's freed up. I may just go ahead and put these springs and retainers back on now, because everything's freed up. So I'll just continue the bearing removal and replacement, and we'll have this engine ready to roll.